Hey everybody, Jamie Stokes from Royal LePage. I was looking at some listings here. I wanted to have a discussion about how much listings are going for right now. So we know the housing market's gone down. I went and looked up some listings in a certain price range from 299 to 525,000 here in the GTA. And there are some mobile units here, mobile trailers, some bungalows, 1.5 stories, and some vacant land in that price range. So there are most of the listings that are on the cheaper side. There's flippers and repair guys, realtors, first time home buyers, all this competing for these. So sometimes they get a little bit out of hand, and I noticed that they sell really quickly. So the cheapest one that I see that's an actual detached house is in Oshawa, and it's listed at 299,975. It's a 3 bedroom. It is very, very small. I'm not sure the square footage on it off the top of my head. That's not it. There's another one here in Oshawa for 375. Remember, these deals are negotiable, but these are just a few listings here. Oshawa, you can get, I know you can get condos in like Oshawa and Mississauga for pretty cheap as well. But these ones that I'm talking about are detached. There it is. So this one, 1.5 stories, gas furnace, which is good. The floors need to be redone because it looks like it's the underfloor, but it wouldn't be anything to put, spend a few $1,000 putting a new floor on this. But 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1.5 stories. I don't see a square footage on here though, or an age. It looks like it's an older property. I'm just gonna click on the pictures here. It's in the Vanier area of Oshawa. It's got a decent sized lot because the house is actually so small, but yeah, it looks like it's got wood plank flooring here, which is like the underflooring, or something that they would have used a long time ago. I could go into Geo Warehouse and look up the age of the house, but this is the cheapest detached that I see currently in the GTA, and it is listed at 299, 270. Remember, these aren't the selling prices. This is the asking price. You might be able to negotiate this unless you have multiple people bidding for the same property. It is very small though. It doesn't have the age or the square footage listed here. If you're interested in this property or looking at houses under the 500K mark, so I typed in 299 to 525 in the GTA here, and this is including mobile trailers and land and things like this, condos, detached as well. You can get a detached house for pretty cheap. This might be ideal for an investor who just wants to rent it out, depending on taxes and the work that they want to put into it. But 66 results in the 299 to 525 range. And your mortgage is going to be significantly less than buying something in the $1 million range. So even if you're looking for an investment property, reach out to me and I can send you some of these listings here. First-time home buyers, it's great. Get your foot in the door. There's some here for, I noticed a bunch of them here are sold conditional. I'm looking up this on the MLS system here. 399.9 sold. This place is in Clarington. Cheap taxes, huge driveway. It's another little bungalow here. Beautiful house though. Outdated, so it's going to need some renovations. But when I list houses, the owners always ask me, what can we do to upgrade and get more money for the house? And there's certain things that you will and will not want to do. So some of those, you might want to put in some flooring. You could redo the cupboards. You could do light fixtures. Light switches, paint is your best bang for your buck, hands down. You got to be careful how much you invest into a property prior to selling it, just because you can actually lose money. I've seen it. So this place in Clarington, it has wood paneling for a lot of the walls here. It's got broadloom carpeting. The colors are very outdated. Baseboard heaters, which is not a good thing. What's it listed? Yeah, so baseboard heaters with the cost of electricity, even natural gas, like everything's going up here. So if you want to rip out the baseboard heaters, I typically, for selling, yes, I'll sell a house that has baseboard heaters. For renting, I don't. I have a conversation with my clients and I tell them it's not worth it for me to send you listings that have electric heat baseboard heaters just because you probably won't be able to afford to heat the place. It's very expensive, so I don't bother doing that. But if you're looking for a flipper or a fixer upper, or your first time home buyer, and you're looking for houses that fit more in your price range than your average place here, because we know the market, your average house on the market is around $1 million. So these places, they're not something typically that realtors send out because this doesn't fit a lot of people's criteria. But if you're looking for, a fixer-upper, first-time home buyer, or a rental property, reach out to me and I can send you some of these listings here. I don't charge anything or make you sign contracts just for sending out listings. I don't mind doing that. It doesn't take me much time to do it, so that's okay. I don't mind. Some of these, there's a bunch of properties here in Georgina, Beaverton, rural Brock, Pefferlaw, rural Clarington, Newcastle, Bowmanville. What else do we have here? This is page 2 of 3, so there's 3 pages, 66 results in this price range. I didn't go too far into details, like I didn't specify square footage size or bedroom size or how many bathrooms or anything like that. I just wanted to give everybody kind of a general idea of what's available here. There's Georgina, Oshawa, lots in Oshawa, Brock, Toronto. There's a piece of vacant land. I don't know how many acres on it. Not many people are looking for vacant land or what the square footage of that is. Detached vacant land in King and Georgina, East Gwillimbury. That's not GTA, but Georgina isn't really the GTA, but it's in the outskirts. I didn't want to do all of Ontario because there was like tons and tons of pages. But if you're looking for an area outside of the GTA, I know most people want to stay within the GTA, but if you're working, if you're able to work from home or something like that, this is ideal here. I mean, what you'd pay for your mortgage is probably, well, in a lot of cases, definitely less than what you're actually paying for rent. But 66 listings, minus some that are, trailers or vacant land. There's condos, there's detached. They're smaller, yeah, but I mean, if you're just living in a basement apartment and you're paying, $2,000 a month for rent or $1,800 a month for rent, why not try and qualify to buy your own place and pay the same amount or less depending on what you put down, things like that. So yeah, there's lots of listings out there that are under 500K, like quite a bit. If you want me to send any of these, please reach out to me. My phone number is 289-927-5991. That's my, feel free to text or give me a call. And you can also email me, jamiestokesrealestate@gmail.com. So I'd like to see people get into buying their own properties rather than renting out, main floors of houses, sharing a house. That doesn't work out very often. I know a lot of people are also teaming up with family or friends. There's been several couples that have bought houses in Toronto, 3 separate couples going in to buy one house. I mean, that to me that's crazy. If I had to go in and team up with 2 other couples to buy a property, I wouldn't do it. There's too many problems. Yeah, I mean, it might work. You'd really have to write everything out in detail, how everything's going to operate, who's responsible for what. But this is kind of a sign of the times. There's houses are so expensive, but I find I'm always doing videos on how expensive and crazy the housing market is. And I mean, really it is. If you're your average Canadian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're renting, you know what I'm talking about. If you're making your average income, if you're making less than 100K a year, you know what I'm talking about. So there's other options out there. I made another video about moving outside of the GTA, and a couple of these properties are just outside of the GTA, but they're fairly close. Like there's not a lot of travel time to some of these areas here, and I think it's worth it to end up buying your own house, and it might not be quite as difficult. I mean, everybody says you need 20% down to buy $1 million house. That's $200,000 or yeah, $200,000, and that's just it's not feasible for anybody really, unless you're making crazy money. And if you're making that kind of money, you're probably not buying $1 million house anyways. You're buying something more expensive than that. But depending on your lender, this is why I say or recommend going to a mortgage broker rather than a bank, because they can get you good rates. They'll shop around. Yes, they make money off of it. I mean, no, don't expect anybody to work for free, but they don't get paid unless they close a deal, just like me. So you know they're going to work to try and make something happen. They'll give you good advice. The bank people are there 9 to 5, Monday to Friday or whatever, and they get paid regardless of what they close on. I've seen real estate transactions fall apart because the banks took too long on financing. But mortgage broker, I highly recommend going to a mortgage broker. You're on a more personal, have a more personal relationship with a mortgage broker. A lot of them are actually good friends of mine, and it's wonderful because we see each other more than doing transactions. There's business functions, or I can call them and just chat them up and see how things are going or whatever. But mortgage brokers are kind of the way to go. They'll shop around for the best mortgage rate for you, and when they do that, they have a lot of different lenders. They have ABC lenders, which have different criteria. If you're not putting down, or you don't have a large deposit to put down to buy a property, this makes it even more so that you want to use a mortgage broker, because they'll have lenders that have different criteria. So these houses on the market here, I mean, for under $500,000, which still might be outside somebody's affordability, but deposit aside, if you don't need a $20,000 deposit or a 30 or 50 or 100 or $200,000 deposit, it depends on the lender's criteria. If you have more skin in the game, have a larger deposit, that's even better. I highly recommend clearing up your debts so that you don't have any issues if mortgage rates go up, or put yourself into a fixed term rate. But these properties, like, I want to preach these because I see so many people are renting right now, and even they're struggling with rent. But when you actually own your house, you have to consider, I mean, yes, there's lots of maintenance to it that you're responsible for. Things break, fall apart, things like this. But live within your means and buy something that you can afford. Don't be paying somebody else's mortgage. Pay your own mortgage and move into your own house. You can have, your own privacy. It's not a shared house. You're not getting noise from upstairs or from downstairs, or, your neighbors aren't cooking funky things, or smoking in the house or whatever. You have your own property here. So there's things, yes, there are things to consider. Property taxes when things break down, having to redo the roof or whatever. Always get an inspection if you can. I highly recommend inspection and financing clauses in absolutely every deal that you do. I've seen a lot of people lose their shirts, not through any deals of mine, but lose their shirts over not putting certain clauses into things, and things popping up at closing or whatever. So have some hope here. There are, not all my videos are doom and gloom. There are definitely properties that you can afford depending on the lender's criteria for what you're paying for rent right now. So look into that. Contact a mortgage broker. If you want some of these listings sent to you, please reach out to me. I'll send them to you. There's no, I'm not going to make you sign a contract just to send you some listings so you can kind of keep updated with the market. If you want some financial advice, I'd be happy to provide that as well. I do want to stress that I'm not a lawyer, and I am not a financial advisor. I'm not certified for any of that, but common sense, I've helped clients in the past and get them ready to buy a place. So I stick within my lane. I know there's some professionals that don't sometimes, but I want to make it clear that I'm a professional realtor, so this is what I do. This is my livelihood, and I would like to see people own their own properties rather than renting. I mean, I can do rental deals all day, housing deals. I would rather see people, putting money into a house that's going to grow in value rather than paying their landlord's mortgage. So please reach out to me. Again, my telephone number is 289-927-5991. My email is jamiestokesrealestate@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you some of these listings in areas meeting criteria that you're looking for. Please feel free to subscribe to my videos. I think there are some good videos here. I'm quite knowledgeable. I don't just have your standard real estate license. I mean, I do, but I take extra courses and stuff like that so I can help represent you better. And it keeps you out of trouble, law courses, things like this. I pay attention to all these things that are going on. I'd like to see my clients being successful. If my clients aren't successful, I'm not successful. There's no better way than to treat your clients proper and have good business and repeat business recommendations. I mean, word of mouth is everything for us. So reach out. If you'd like, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about houses in the market right now or deposits, I have videos on deposits. I have videos on how to choose realtors, realtor commissions, referral fees, all kinds of things. So if you have another subject that you'd like me to talk about as well, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll do a video on that for you. And in the meantime, I'd appreciate if you liked all my videos or watched the ones that are of interest to you. And please subscribe. Anyways, take care for now. Jamie Stokes, Royal Page. Take care.